Hello there, I'm Henry Patak,
And I'm John Cladis.
and we're from the Honors Critical Thinking class at Moraine Valley Community College.
And we're here to talk to you about standardized testing and the issues that it poses.
However, we're not going to discount the benefits that it brings as well, and we're going to compare and contrast the two throughout the video.
So without further ado,
Let's get started.
So first, let's look at the history of standardized testing.
During our research, we found a timeline written by Paulina Alcacer and published by the National Education Association chronicling this. From it, we will reference entries regarding the World War I era and the 21st century.
Since World War I, standardized testing has been a common practice. It has not only been used in schools, but to determine jobs of servicemen as well. Today, the volume has increased dramatically. Rather than adjusting the quality of the test, they have only added more.
This leads into our next point, the pros and cons of standardized testing. We consult a list created by Columbia University highlighting both sides of the debate. Let's start with the first pro given. Standardized testing holds teachers and schools accountable. They can be reviewed and judged accordingly.
The corresponding con states that this assessment only evaluates performance of a single day. This skews said results and makes it difficult to know which teachers and schools truly need changes.
The second pro we'll mention is that teachers receive guidance in which academic areas cause issues for their students, so they can devote more time to them. They become more time efficient.
The presented counterpart says that educators will end up teaching to the test. This decreases the creativity and true learning of their students. It ultimately proves to do the opposite of the intended purpose.
We then proceeded to ask students and administrators their opinions of standardized testing to get a grasp on how those in the field perceive it.
Standardized testing is important to all levels of education. I think we have to find a way to measure students in some way, shape, or form and to see how we're performing as a whole. And I think that's what standardized testing does.
Okay, standardized testing is a good idea to help gauge where students are in their academic levels of skills. However, I do believe that because it is a standardized test and there are lower or underperforming schools, it's not a great indicator of where all students may be.
In my personal experience with standardized testing, I find that time limits that are put on standardized tests constrict me, and I don't think that it accurately captures my ability to do well in school, and I don't think it accurately captures my abilities just well at all.
I think standardized tests are important for assessing where students are. However, I think a lot of times teachers will teach for that test, which is not really necessarily a good indicator of what they know because they're just learning what the teachers are doing, what they have to so that the kids pass the test. And as a terrible test taker myself, I don't think it was a good indicator for me because I did much better in school in all of my classes than a standardized test, which made me very anxious and nervous to begin with. So I'm kind of on both sides of the fence with standardized testing.
Well, I believe standardized testing should not be used as a basis for calculating a person's academic achievement or levels because some people are not as great test takers, and many times universities or colleges, they look at that to determine where they should be placed. And sometimes that is not at their actual level. So I believe they should look at the courseware, class coursework, instead of just a simple test that is standardized for everyone to take, because everyone has different abilities, different levels. So standardized testing should not be used as a basis to calculate one's intelligence.
Honestly, my personal opinion on the standardized testing, I honestly see no use for it because honestly, in my humble opinion, I didn't score well when I took the ACT testing or any of the other standardized testing, but I believe it's more about the character and what people are able to do in their future, and one simple little test shouldn't be able to define who you are in your future. That's my opinion.
Having considered both sides of the debate and done our research, we think it's pretty clear to see that there are plenty of issues with standardized testing today in our schools.
And we're asking you specifically to take action on these issues with standardized testing.
Now, we're not asking for a total revamp of the system here. We just think small improvements can be made to lessen the anxiety level for students.
And we're looking forward to seeing these improvements in the near future.
So, on that note, thank you for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm Henry Batak.
And I'm John Cladis.
Signing off. Bye.
Bye.